Hey guys, so I'm just gonna do another reading from my book, which is called Read It Rawly: The Gifts of Life. And I wrote this when I was 18 and I was going through a tough time. And I didn't know anything, but it was healing for me in that time. And I wrote it so that I could help other people in some way, and that still remains the case. Anyway, the reason why I'm reading or giving the task to myself to try and do this is or to experience it is because of the same reason. um, I seem to hope or seem to think that for some reason, somehow, it might help another person, and maybe that's me, and then in turn another person I might talk to. But I can't just think in terms of me. I have to think that maybe somehow it helps somebody else, and yeah. Anyway, so I'm just gonna dive right in. So again, I want to say that it's 10 years, and I'm trying to view it from a point of view that's why I keep on making the 10-year thing evident. And also I say that so that I've grown. I've definitely I'm way more wise now than I was then, or way less ignorant, although I could say the other way around is also true. Anyway, moving past. So I'm trying to approach it in the way that the word rawly was meant. I made up that word, but it is to indicate how to best read the book with an open mind and an honest heart. And I think that's the same thing if you swap it around. Anyway, so yeah. If you discover energy, teach others to find it as well. We are here to help each other build healthy foundations. Spread positivity and good intentions. Motivation and intention are often linked. I frequently deliberated which was more important. I considered that intention could be more important when it forms the basis, when one is starting, the starting point. Hence, some relevance lies in how one should start in the appropriate way, especially whilst including good intentions. But then we arrive at motivation, and this may be more important when it only compromises of the positive. But when one's intentions aren't quite so, aka negative, the importance dissipates. Therefore, motivation could be noticeably less important than intention when one is caught in the spiral of trying and failing, which could very well be a feasible cause as to why people become trapped in a tornado of typical right and wrong methods. When it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Motivation is motivation. It does not always have to be society's view of what is right. It is fuel, and you must find the fuel that works best for your mechanism. I think a few people will really know what I mean. Sorry, it makes me excited. This is deep though. Anyway, you must find the fuel that works best for your mechanism. This is okay if you use it positively and to the advantage of not only yourself, but others as well. Do not allow right and wrong to contain you. Decide what you want to do, build a base that is solid and optimistic, and find motivation to pull you through. Find the fuel to reach your goal, but be sure not to use gas that could make others sick. Create your own unique formula, but try to construct a healthy one. A healthy formula is one that can be shared and used to teach others who are also in need of sustainable energy. Soon they could build their own unoiled foundations. and I just seem to leave it there. So what do I mean by fuel, or gas, um, and sustainability? Sustainability, like, and mechanism. So I'm talking about your your cognitive um, aspects of you, and that's basically including all of you. And there are a few places in which I can see that I left out um, things in between so that the mind could wander, because and see through ultimately the framework that I put here, and to allow another person to sort of think, what, wait, and then maybe, start to sort of think, oh, well, and do what I'm doing now, because I'm like literally commenting. And yeah, well, I mean, I love the way that I put this, actually, because, and I love the fact that I didn't use the word um, power, like everybody um, talks about power in different senses, in different ways of the word nowadays. And, you know, that is not what I'm trying to say now, but it can kind of be linked to what I'm saying. So I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about not electrical energy. I'm not talking about like solar system energy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about energy and energy. And like good intentions, good vibes, and motivation as pertaining to keeping on going, and with a good heart. And so basically, I can't help but think of the meaning crisis. And I just want to say thanks to John Vervaeke, a professor in Canada, who just so gracefully blessed so many people, like everyone, by putting his course on awakening from the meaning crisis. It's about 50 hours long, 50 episodes on YouTube. And I can feel some of that language coming into my mind. It's an excellent course. I really, really recommend that you do it, especially if you are seeking, especially if you are trying to figure things out, especially if you need to educate yourself. You want to educate yourself. You want to educate yourself about the world. I mean, I'm truly grateful for the education that John has provided for me. And in the course, you feel like you get to know him, and yet you are strangers. But it is like that you feel comfortable. You start to even become, you know, I don't want to give it away, but you really walk away from the course a better person, and you get so many insights, and it's amazing. Anyway, enough about that. That's kind of, so in terms of ways, right? A way of doing something, or a way of going about something, a way of being, um, a way as to something that is a solution to a possible problem. That's a way. And it's the process as well. And I can actually feel my mind wanting to really go deep right now into deep thought, and yet I must just become present and stick to the video. And yeah, I mean, I find this to stand out for me as well. And I say that that motivation could be noticeably less important than intention when one is caught in the spiral of trying and failing. So basically, what I'm saying there is that um, motivation, or finding motivation, or even if you are being motivated or encouraged, that's different though. If you're trying to encourage yourself or motivate yourself and you kind of can't, but you're trying and failing, you're going round and round and round, and basically what I'm describing there is you're feeling stuck, and you keep trying and you're failing and you're going round and round, and that's basically where I say motivation is sort of a little bit low, and therefore your intention uh, comes up a bit. So if you can raise your intention to be good, and also, tap into that energy, or tap into that place where you can, you know, get get your mechanisms going, get your cognition going in such a way that you can go along your way just right out of that problem, and then you can be feel and be super motivated that you did that. Maybe I sounded vague now, but I hope that I clarified that, and I hope that I clarified that you shouldn't be defined by what anybody else says about you. You shouldn't let others decide who you are. If you don't know who you are and you maybe feel a bit lost, and you're you're feeling stuck, one of the things for life that I think everyone should do. I'm not gonna. I'll quote Socrates right now. Um, know thyself. So, but when I said, I find it really important to get to know yourself, and that is actually something that I'd love to elaborate on right now. But essentially, it means what it means. And so that also, I would hope that it's obvious that it notions towards um, you finding who you are, and you finding your meaning and what is real and relevant to you in your life. And you finding and you getting to know yourself is almost like you developing and growing into the self you seek and the self that you are. So you as a person, as a being, who you are, you can find. You must just get to know yourself. And it's interesting journey, and I am aware of the fact that I sound vague again. um, it's difficult to sort of impromptu speak and then have to sort of hear some of my thoughts in the background, and then I really want to just talk and talk and talk and talk, and I get excited. But yeah, I get excited because this is true. I mean, what I'm saying to you is good advice. It is. It's not just my opinion that it's good. It was good advice to me, and so I'm just passing it along. And I encourage you to get to know yourself a bit more. I like to talk about. I mean, here you are. Are you here? I am here. And if you look at Eckhart Tolle, some of his videos, he talks about the power of now. He talks about being in the present moment. He talks about quite a few things. But he's a spiritual teacher, by the way, but he's quite well known, and you don't need to feel weird about watching one of his videos. He just basically teaches a practice, and that tends to help a lot of people. a lot of people, especially if you're overthinking. I find that it's a good combo with, let's say, awakening from the meaning crisis, but a little bit further from that, maybe some of the other things, because I feel that it fits in with, you know, uh, a set of practice, well, multiple sets of practices that one can do to really kind of, so practices ways, a way to tap into that energy flow, the stream in which you are functioning just right and you are not stuck. You feel a part of everything. And I'm trying to loop this together. And what I want to say is that, you know, if you're here and you're feeling stuck and you're kind of thinking, like, what on earth am I talking about? If you're feeling stuck and you feel like you want to give up, and those are the thoughts that are in your mind, you need to know, and so I'm informing you need to know that there are ways in which you can become unstuck. You don't have to stay in the stuckness place. The stuckness is what we call it. And that's a friend of mine. We were discussing it. And we were discussing it and thinking it's quite profound, because a lot of the times um, we were trying to identify, well, what was it that takes stuck? What is it that takes you from a stuck place to a non-stuck place? How do you get out of it by yourself? How do you think? And we were sort of approaching it from different angles. We spoke for so long, we both had to say goodbye to each other, and then we'll pick it up again. But basically, we found it to be fascinating. Sometimes it just happens. It's almost like you're in that stuck place. It doesn't last forever. That is most certain. And that's something for you to know. If you're really stuck, just know that it doesn't last forever. It is temporary. And what I tend to say, and I should probably find out why I say this, but anyway, what I often say is that if you're in a stuck place and you are spiraling and being, so yes, the tornado metaphor, and it's kind of, you're cycling, you're spiraling, you feel kind of like, almost like you're in that, like the middle part of the tornado, and you don't know how to get out of it. I don't think this is the best analogy, and everything feels kind of really weird, and you can't really see clearly, I think. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. Maybe there is, but that should be like a red flag to reach out and ask for help, to help get you out of that stuck place. Because sometimes somebody else guiding you, sometimes it's literally somebody else reminding you of what you already know but can't think of because you're in that stuck place mentality. Or maybe just that stuck place sort of state of mind. And what is really important about the stuck place or the stuckness is you can't stay in the stuckness forever. You cannot do that. You absolutely cannot. It's unhealthy. It is something that will, the longer you stay in your stuck place, the longer you're gonna suffer. So you gotta get out of it. You gotta find ways, mechanisms, ways of coping, ways of being, ways of transcending, in the smallest use of the word, like transcending from this place that you feel stuck in, transcending that into a space in which you can create, open, explore. It is yours. That you can go through, push through that stuck place, break out of there. If you're in a stuck place, let's think it's like, here's the place and you are in it and you're stuck in this place. If you're stuck in a place change it to a space, okay, then you're in a space. And I'm talking to you about mindscaping, okay? So, and you change it to a space. And what are you going to do with that space? You are going to look at it and try and make it so that it is a nice space to be in. And I'm talking about the mindscaping, but you can visualize it. You can literally visualize it by what I'm describing to you now. So you're stuck in a place, and you just need to take that place and make it into a space. You're just in a space, and you can design it in such a way that it's sort of giving you good vibes in your mind. What's calming, this is nice, that's nice, gratitude, things that you're grateful for, or that you would be grateful for, and sort of make that space appealing and sort of an energy that feels good and right with you, and that makes you feel inspired and motivated, or peaceful, or at least out, that you feel unstuck. So that the stuckness can be changed to the space holder for the opportunity for a solution to just come right in there. Or that space could be the space that you need to see, to realize, oh, this stuckness, that's not me. That's just something I'm going through. There's a space that's sort of something that I don't quite know about, that you could think of as the rest of you that you have yet to still get to know. That is your potential, right? So you can grow into your potential by going through that stuck place. You're going through it. You just go through it. You grow through what you go through, but you're going through it. So you're not staying stuck. You can, one of the best things that I have used, I do suggest this as well, many other people do, is that if you're in that stuck place, one of the best things you can do is become aware of that, because sometimes you don't know that you're stuck. So it's good to sort of try and maybe step back, or sort of think, well, what is this? Oh, I'm stuck. I feel like I'm stuck. Become aware of that. If you can become aware of that, whatever sort of whatever is going on with you, and you can sort of become aware of what that is, and sort of think, I'm stuck, but wait, I'm okay. This doesn't feel nice. What? I feel disoriented, confused. Then think, well, what do I usually do, or what can I do to transition, to find a way to just take the way out of that stuck place? But you might find that just becoming aware of the fact that you're stuck is like opening up a way to get unstuck. But you'll know that in the moment. So just becoming aware of what you are in your being, if that makes sense. It should make sense, but if it doesn't, it's because I need practice with my communication. Yeah. And I talk here about building a base, and I like that, a base that is solid and optimistic. So if you're stuck in a place, build a base from which you take your first step and you got out of there. And that's a pretty badass first step. You build a base. Boom, I'm out of here. I'm gonna just step out of this and I'm gonna keep on walking. I'm gonna walk into the rest of me. I'm gonna walk into the potential that I have set in front of me. Things are not over. I will not be stuck in a place, in a space. I will not be stuck. I will not be a part of the stuckness forever. You won't be. And you don't have to be. And yet I can understand what you're feeling if you're in that place. So don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Just don't. Don't give up either. You can't give up. Especially if you're in that stuck place. You can't give up. And know that there are ways. There is ways. And I've just described something to you. I've also done a reading from my book in which the framework of that should help you to think and to sort of glean an insight, hopefully. So, and I'm carrying on talking because it feels natural to me. And yeah, again, I don't know. There's something about this that I really like. Just finding, I mean, it's such a short chapter, but it is like something fresh, and it's making me feel better. I was not feeling so great, and earlier I was feeling in a bad mood, and yeah. So anyway. But I mean, nonetheless, I sort of told myself, okay, the least I can do on the many things that I must do list, or, yeah, no, it was, I don't know why it was the least I could do, but I told myself that I'd make a video, and I actually said that to myself yesterday, and then I let myself just be, because I didn't want to pressure myself too much. And I also didn't want to like do a video where I had like no like list to do it. I didn't want that to come through. And it's, yeah. And in terms of like who you are and getting to know who you are, or just sort of becoming you, you know, and sort of, I guess some people are trying to figure that out, and then other people are trying to create themselves. Um, I don't understand that. I guess it's a different way of finding out information, and through that sort of gathering things that one can possibly use to learn about oneself. I'm not sure. Self-creation. You are created. You have a lot inside of you already. So you are a gift package, and you have gifts inside of you. Your brain is a gift. Your breath is a gift. My God, thank God. It's such an amazing thing. And learn about your brain. Like, just the basics. And, like, learn about the things what you have to work with. Learn a bit more about that. Educate yourself in the right way. And also, don't feel too much pressure. Again, like, if you can just be and be in the present moment and know that, and know deep inside that you belong, and know that if you are not in a good place, that won't last forever, and that does not determine who you are, right? that does not make you a bad person, doesn't make your identity, and the identity thing is a bit shallow. Like, you know, don't get tripped up. And why I say I think I should say, make clear the word identity, I find to be a little bit shallow as a descriptive word, um, or as a word, well, maybe I should say rather, excuse me, I need to try and correct myself here, is that it's been taken and used so much in so many different ways that it's become sort of maybe not shallow, but thin. Like thinly spread the amount of times you can use the word. Like, I just feel like some words have been used so many times, and it is so difficult to come up with new language and say things in a new way that you haven't heard before, whilst at the same time being yourself, and also remembering sort of new stuff that you learned. And sometimes I am like that, and then I forget all the new terms that I've learned, and can sometimes feel well, no, I think I'm past this stage where I feel, like inadequate about that, because I know that I'm not, and I know that the reason why is because I'm forgetting and I'm nervous. I always get nervous, by the way, doing these videos. That's a part of the reason why I do them, to get used to it. And yeah. Anyway, I kind of want to carry on, but I'm just going to end this one here. Maybe I'll do another one. I don't know. And yeah, so I hope that you can find a healthy way of getting into that good vibe and that sort of comfortability of being you. And know that if you're stuck, or if you're not in a good place, that is not going to last forever. And sometimes, if you've been stuck for too long, it means that you've got to see that you're stuck and you got to get up and move. And that's a great thing to do. That's an amazing thing to do. That can show you something quite profound. And I hope you feel encouraged. I hope that you feel that you can think on further after I finish this video. I hope that you can glean some sort of an insight, that you come up with your own, your own something to say from all the stuff that I've said in this video. And by the way, if you want a copy of my book, you've got to you've got to contact me. I'll put stuff, I'll put the stuffies, the technology. I'm still learning a bit more about it. But there are many ways to get my book. But if you want it from me, in which I will personally sign it, and I also write in it for you, a personal inscription in the book for you. And yeah, but that was more of an informal announcement. But yeah, I just say this is not only for me, myself, and I have many copies. It's available kind of everywhere, so you can Google it if you want to. And or you can just, whatever the case may be, but I hope it's good, and I hope it's healthy, and I hope that you find a way to wake up into who you are, to love yourself, to love others. And if you already have a way, don't let others talk you down from that. Teach, inform. Like, look at me. I don't think I'm the best at these kind of things, but who am I to judge? I'm not comparing myself either. or trying not to. And I'm trying to just sort of, this is a self-exploration thing as well. I want to see what comes from this. And I hope that something is taught. I hope that something is gleaned. Because I'm not sharing this for no reason. Again, it's like, it's for me, but it's more interesting to me, and it is for way bigger. It's for way better. And that is what I wish for you. And that is what I pray for you. Don't give up. Nothing lasts forever. And realize that you have yet to meet the rest of who you are. So just know that. And know that you're loved. Know that I'm sending love to you.